All right, so let's talk about who are the teams that you think are gonna not just get past the first round. Like, is there anybody out there? I mean, you do this every day, Monday through Friday. You're on the NHL Now, and you're talking to people nonstop. Like, is there anybody outside of? I find that sometimes when we're bouncing around, and whether it's on this show or anything I'm doing, it's like we're talking about the same teams all the time. Like, I'm talking about Florida. I'm talking about Tampa. I'm talking about Colorado and maybe Carolina. And after that, there's like so let's just say you can't say those 4 teams.
Oh,
who else is going to, if there is someone else to get in that mix, who's that team?
As a cup contender?
Yeah.
You know what is interesting to me is that a lot of the cup contenders that we talk about, Tampa excluded, a lot of these contenders don't necessarily have proven solid, like 1,000,000% confident in your goaltending. Like, I love Colorado, and I know Darcy Kemper's playing well right now, but like in the postseason, what has Darcy Kemper really actually proven, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I mean, he's fine, but he's not Vasilevsky. And then I look at, the Florida Panthers, and I love Bob. I'm a big Bob girl. I'm a big, love Bobrovsky. Love him. But the last 2 years, he's not Vezina Bob on a consistent basis anymore. So it's like, okay, and Florida as a team, they have to prove themselves in the postseason too. Like, to me, until you win a round in the playoffs, like, you're not a playoff threat. That's why I have trouble with the Leafs. Eventually they'll get over the hump, but until they do, I can't be like, yeah, you're a real cup contender when you've choked your way out of the playoffs for like 5 years in a row. So I don't know. Like, I think Pittsburgh is an interesting team, but Tristan Jarry is having a great year, but he's coming off a playoff where, like, I felt bad for him. That's how bad he was. Like, I actually felt secondhand embarrassment for him. I was like, it's like usually, like, you can debate, like, no, it's the team, it's not your fault. No. It was like, no, like, it's your fault. Like, it's you put your team in a bad spot. But I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
And I think Sidney Crosby too is crazy. Like, Rupper, you talk about how, like, we're always talking about the same things. How you probably have more than me, but I feel like we never talk about Crosby this year. He's having a great year.
Yeah, it's under the radar.
You're right, you guys don't talk about him enough. You guys need to talk about him more.
Hey, you know what? You stick around. Once you're done here, Pat will jump on and he'll talk about Sid and talk about them winning.
Yeah, pump Sid's Sid's tires. But, like, he has been.
He has been. I saw this thing the other day. I'm probably going to butcher this, but it was something on the lines of, over his last 75 games, he's got just as many points as Connor McDavid, or something on those lines. Like, he's been that
surprise me.
And we don't talk about that. I mean, you take away the 7 games at the beginning of the year. He came off of his wrist surgery. Yeah. Then he got COVID. So he had about a 7-game buffer. From then on, well over a point a game. And you're right. I feel like, on here we talk about him. Nick's a huge Pens fan. I obviously do some coverage of the Pens. We talk about him an okay amount on here, but nationally, I don't think enough people are talking about how good Sid's been. Like, he's been that good. And
he's been really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a tough spot for that team, because you had Brian Burke and Ron Hextall brought in, and their whole thing that we thought was like, we're going to draw this back a little bit. We're going to save our picks. We're going to hold on to our picks. We're going to try to just make this pivot on the fly. Well, I mean, they got the 5th best record in the NHL right now. If that doesn't scream to me, you got to go do it again. Sell off that first-round pick. That first-round pick's going to be like 29th overall. Like,
get it out
and go for another run. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that they do that.
They should. I think that they should. When you have that star power, and you have a goalie who's playing really well and has something to prove on top of that, I don't know. I would go for it if I was Pittsburgh. You know who else? Like, I've been thinking about a lot as a team that I want. This team's not ready to win a cup, but I think they should go all in at the deadline, because they have 2 things that a lot of teams don't have: a ton of cap space and a deadly goalie, and it's the New York Rangers. fucking, I keep swearing because I can't swear anywhere else, so I'm on here.
Let it eat. Let it eat. Let it eat. Hell yeah.
No, like the Rangers, to me, we see it every single year. The Montreal Canadiens went to the final last year on the back of Carey Price and, you know, the defenseman basically playing insane minutes and finding a way to, I guess Phil Deneau as well, like shutting down the Leaf Stars and everyone else along the way. To me, it's like you have an incredible goalie, and I hate the people out there that are like, oh, the Rangers, they're all Igor Shesterkin. Like, the guy's not a part of the team. Like, he's on the team. He is their goalie, and he can – if there's a goalie that can steal a series, I believe Igor Shesterkin can. I really do. He's been that good. So when you have that, like, you're going for it every year. I don't care what your team looks like. Like, you have to.
One of the rumors kicking around that I heard today.
Oh, here we go. Breaking news.
Oh, no, not breaking news. Just rumor talk.
Come on.
That the Rangers are dabbling with the idea of potentially a Patty Kane, trying to trade for Patty Kane. They got
what?
Hey, this is so spicy. I love it.
He's on the market?
That's my thing.
I don't know if he's actually on the market or not. I don't know. These are all rumors, man. We hear these things. This may be absolutely nothing. It may just be blowing in the wind, you know. But
yes,
no, too late. Too late. Breaking.
They have a ton of cap space. Like, there's not a player out there that this team could not fit.
I think they have like 30 million in cap space. It's
30 million in cap space right now.